A new battle is opening up in generative AI, this one around obtaining user data. In late April, social networking giant Meta Platforms hosted its first ever developer conference focused on generative AI, announcing among other things new large language models designed to work independently of Meta's infrastructure.
Enterprise use cases are telling us pretty good things about switching to an open source model in terms of delivering results for enterprise customers who care about data security.
Meta is trying to deliver on a key issue for businesses experimenting with different generative AI solutions: the need for private identifiable consumer data to stay protected within a business. First-party user data is an increasingly important part of modern business, particularly in software or service-focused industries. It's often strictly protected by businesses and used for everything from forecasting sales to ad targeting. But protecting user data can often conflict with how generative AI models are built and used in the first place. Generative AI gets better the more it's interacted with and used, with these actions and interactions fed into the model to make it better and tailored to its tasks.
So most of these generative AI models, as you rightly pointed out, they rely on lots of data, and not just any data, like clean, nice data with nice boundaries of what is, depending on what specific task you're training it for, data which is clean, easy to understand, and well labeled.
That's Aniket Bera, Associate Professor of Computer Science at Purdue University.
Every company in Gen AI space, or even academics like us, we rely on lots of data. The better quality data, the easier it is to train these models with even more efficient ways of training.
Businesses, in other words, want a useful, powerful AI that can be tailored to their industry and trained to solve a specific need. But businesses also want to make sure that in training an AI, they aren't inadvertently giving away confidential data.
So we'll start with a user problem, and we'll try and workshop between that model and the task that we have. How can we prompt it, or maybe just tune it just slightly over the top to really fit the outputs that we're looking for.
That's James Peterson. He's the head of AI at Fathom, a meeting platform that offers AI-powered tools that can transcribe or summarize meetings. Fathom says protection of user data and privacy is a primary concern.
The number one thing that we look for in a vendor is, can we trust them? We're customers of the big vendors, and they've earned our trust over time. That's definitely been the number one thing for us, because we're also trusting them to look after all of the trust that we have from our customers. So they don't store any of our data. We're able to trust them to be online, and we're able to trust them that they've got good intentions in mind with where their roadmap is heading.
This battle over user data, both providing it to a model and protecting it, is creating a rush among big tech to better train their foundational models. The companies most likely to create the most successful generative AI models are companies that have access to huge amounts of user data. Alphabet subsidiary Google, having lost an antitrust suit in online search, could be forced to sell its popular Chrome browser. Almost immediately, rival OpenAI expressed interest in purchasing the browser. Browsers offer unique data in how humans find information and learn, just through browsing patterns alone. Meanwhile, Meta is fighting an FTC investigation on whether it stifled industry competition by buying up services like Instagram and WhatsApp. The data users provide through social media can be critical in training foundational models. The fight around generative AI has evolved, in other words. First from developing a large language model, to finding chips powerful enough to run it, and now to finding and protecting user data needed to make those models even better. For Investors Business Daily, this is Mike Zhuang.